pricks, and Liverpool are going to have to rise like one of the fucking pricks. One of the fiery pricks. That's what Liverpool are going to have to do now. Drop 4 points from the first 2 games. Fulham away, Crystal Palace at home. There's at least more to get into this one. There's at least more that you can sort of take from this one, both positive and negative. There's at least more that you can get your teeth into as you have the post-match pint. This post-match pint feels insufficiently small, I hasten to add. I'd like it to be the size of a house. I'd like to be able to swim in it like Scrooge McDuck and his money. That's what I'd like to do. I'm Neil Atkinson, that's Ben Johnson, that's Neil Docking. My God, Jono, it absolutely kills you, this one. It absolutely kills you. Not least because, I mean, by the way, if I supported Crystal Palace and I was on my way home, I'd be furious. I've never heard the sound of 2,000 Cockneys absolutely be terrified like that for some time. Because why on earth are Liverpool the way they are? Then they go down to 10 and then they're like demons. They were absolutely brilliant at 10. They weren't great at 11, it's worth saying. They were poor.
Yeah, they weren't at the best. And I think what I took from it is we played all right first 20 minutes, decent tempo, tried. But I think it's still, we look at a team that's trying to figure out how we're going to play. You know, it's a bit of a new era. You've lost Mane, who, you know, scored a lot of fucking important goals.
Yeah.
A lot of important goals when he wasn't playing well, by the way.
And when we weren't playing
well, and he just grab a game and score you a goal. And we still don't. We look a little bit like we don't know what to do with Nunes. That problem solved itself for a bit.
He boxed it off.
He boxed it off. He was like, well, you don't have to play with me, Sam. Watch this.
I hate that he gave that referee the satisfaction. I hate he gave that one the satisfaction. I can't bear that referee. Yeah, I can't bear us being refereed by anyone from Greater Manchester. But of all of them, I cannot bear him.
I'm a big fan of him joining the ball club as well, by the way. Unofficially, no one allowed him in.
No, you've been in the meetings, haven't you?
We haven't had any letters.
You're the chairman, aren't you?
He only should whip that off today.
Yeah, he's not the chairman, come on. If he was the chairman, there'd be a better group of lads. He's the treasurer.
But we give him the opportunity to do it. He doesn't do an awful lot wrong, the referee. What you could say is it's an unbelievable performance.
It's the game of his life.
In the dark heart of Diddling Liverpool, it's fantastic.
It's the game of his life.
Because
Ferguson's rang him twice on the way home.
What a performance.
Loves him.
What a performance.
Yeah. It's got the Cortinas on at the top, full volume.
You're not 19 forever.
Yeah.
No, I've just had to whip my hair off, mate. Yeah, it's frustrating, mate. It's frustrating, and I think Liverpool they're a work in progress. I think the worry for me is we looked at much better sides with 10 men for 20 minutes than we did with 11, and there's a couple of reasons for that. You know, Nunes, we don't quite know how to play with him. I think Salah's too isolated. He's not that much of a threat. Looks like he might set up 1 million goals, but he doesn't look like he'll score many. You know, the way we set up first half, and I think. We said it, Phillips, he doesn't do an awful lot wrong. And it feels overly harsh to say the result's anything to do with him. That said, with the ball, he may as well not be there. And that's the main issue for me. It's not the defender. There's better defenders than him who've been caught with a high line at home against teams with pace. There's much better. Virgil, one of them. Matip, another one. Kanate, another one. Every single one of our defenders has been caught with that high line because it's fucking dead hard. That's not the issue. The issue is it's a chink in our armour. It's something for them to focus on. But also, it's what's he going to do when he's got the ball? And I'll tell you what he's going to do. At most, he's going to give it to Fabinho, who's there.
And then what's Fabinho going to do?
And then what's Fabinho going to do? Because then he hasn't got a ball, so everyone's out of whack. And I think the other thing is that we're doing this mad thing where our players who are likely to have the most shots are our fullbacks, overlapping the centre forward, and that just seems berserk to me. Robertson's in that space 3 or 4 times.
The mad part about the game at 0-0 is how much we have the ball around the final third, and how odd a wide variety of the decision making is. As Ben says, there's where the fullbacks are ending up at times. There's the idea that at times it feels like Robertson goes centre forward, so Diaz goes left back.
Yeah.
I'm sort of watching this, and I know there's something coalescing, and we'll see it come together, and we will see it come together because you trust this manager, you trust these players, you trust this coaching staff. But at the minute, there was bits of that where I thought we were on top at 0-0, it was still quite difficult to watch. It was still you were still very head scratchy. And for me, ultimately, it felt like, unlike the idea of Mane, Firmino and Salah, it felt like there was such a big gap between Diaz, Darwin and Salah. Like, they couldn't have been further apart. Whereas the thing about those three, in the pomp, but also when it was a bit shit for them at times, say what you want, you could throw a blanket over them 20 metres. There today, there was often like the whole width of the pitch between them.